Hey, good morning, everybody. It's your coach here. Coach's Call on Tap. This is our 23-24 college football uh, pick'em wrap-up show, so to speak. This is going to be the last one for college football since it's all over, since it's all done. I do want to say, first of all, thank you for everybody that has stuck with us all season long. It's been fun. We've picked winners, we picked losers. We've got on each other's ass. It's been fun. It's been funny. I appreciate everybody, all the guys that have been on our podcast throughout the season. We're trying to make just some regular old content with regular old people, a couple of old coaches, and then some new heads, man, that didn't know football existed before 9/11. So hope everybody enjoyed it. We had a great time. I'm just going to go over a couple of things from all the conferences and some highlights, some lowlights, some things that I think is going on. But I just really want to thank everybody for following us, and I'm just hoping for a better year next year. Anyway, let's start off by, first of all, congratulations to Michigan Wolverines and the university. Won their natty since 1997. They won it back. They got it back in convincing fashion. I don't know. It's kind of lackluster for me, but they were the best team in the Big Ten. They're the best team. I mean, they proved it, the best team in the nation, winning the natty. Um, Washington, you know, pretty disappointed in what I saw there. Uh, I don't want to call it a loser's limp. I know the kid got hit over and over and over and over again, but there once Michigan scored that last one, he really just I mean he showed off he was injured and it was hurt, and I mean I'm not taking anything away from Penix, but Michigan put it on his ass, man. I mean, that offensive line, you could just tell that the difference is the biggest thing. The difference between a great defensive line and a mediocre offensive line, and Michigan did nothing but bull rush those guys. The difference between what Michigan did against uh, Texas, I mean, what Michigan did against Alabama and what Michigan did against Washington are two different ball games. Against Alabama, they had to twist and turn and stunt to get through that offensive line. You just could not bull rush that offensive line. You go to Washington, they did nothing special. They put four guys in the dirt, and they just bull rushed, and Washington could do nothing about it. And that speaks volumes. For you guys that don't think, the game's won in the trenches, there you have it. It's not just about having a great quarterback and two great receivers. That shit ain't going to cut it. You got to be able to protect, and that was proven. So Washington, I felt, laid a real big fucking egg. Really, really disappointed in the way that played. Really disappointed in Penix. Really disappointed in. It was just all of it was just downright bad. And congrats to Michigan on making them look like complete trash. So congrats to Michigan, Washington. Great season. The cool thing, and I'm going to go in this later, is they get to see each other every year. So let's move on to the Power Five conferences. I really thought uh, the Pac-12 was the most fun to watch. If you just love sitting there watching people score, close games, doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter if it's a bad Arizona team that now they think they're good, or if it's a great Oregon team that really wasn't that great, but people thought. Anyway, it all panned out and it all equaled out, and it was just a lot of fun to watch. I enjoyed it. I never enjoyed Pac-12 football. I don't like staying up till midnight watching it, but I did this year. It was a lot of fun, and the reason being, the other conferences, there wasn't much going on there as far as I'm concerned. So the Pac-12 was the most fun. I'm going to tell you something though. I really believe this. Now those top four teams are going to the Big Ten. I really think the Pac-12 will take over the Big Ten. I really do. I mean, because now you got to play, game in, game out, all the time. In the Big Ten, you've got Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan. The other ones, yeah, they'll give you a tough game every now and then, but you got those three. Now you got the best four of the Pac-12 going over there. You have to play week in, week out. It's going to be a different ball game. I can't wait to see how the Big Ten evolves, because right now they're big, tough run, power football, great defense, which they do have good defenses over there. And now you bring the Pac-12 in. I'm going to see how the Big Ten evolves from that, or how the Pac-12 has to evolve, because over there on the West Coast, they're going to have to start recruiting over here to get some of those interior linemen. So that's going to be really, really interesting for me to watch how the Pac-12 evolves, how the Big Ten evolves, how it melds together. I think it's going to be really fun football to watch. I can't wait for that. Big 12, really lackluster year for me. It's just hard. It's hard for me to watch a Big 12 football game. You never know what you're going to get. You take these teams that were good for a long, like Baylor was good for 4 or 5 years. Now you don't know what Baylor team you're going to get one Sunday to the next. Texas Tech the same way. They're good on the road, or they're good at home, or they're good at home and they're bad on the road. You never know what you're going to get. TCU goes from a natty one year to the woodshed the next. Like, where's the consistency? Where's the consistency there? Kansas State, Iowa State, pretty, and then you have, they're pretty even, but then you have Texas and Oklahoma, and those are really, and now that they're gone, what do you get? Well, they brought in Houston and Cincinnati, and teams like that, UCF, I don't think made a difference. I think those add-ons that they got in the Big 12 really did nothing for the quality of football in the league or the excitement in the league. There was just no excitement. All everybody talked about all year long was beat Texas so they don't make the natty. Well, they couldn't do it, other than Oklahoma. And I don't know how Texas made that loss disappear, but they did. Anyway, I didn't think much of the Big 12. ACC, man, I'll tell you what, unless something magically happens over there, the only reason to keep those guys around are for basketball and baseball season. Because football, other than these new kids that love to see, 50, 60 points up, and I don't see, there's nothing fun or exciting about ACC football. And that's proven this year. And then you go to the SEC, and of course, I know I'm an Aggie fan, so sorry about that. Let me see if I can. There we go. I'm a big Aggie fan. I still think it's a good conference. Not from top to bottom, but from top to almost the bottom. I think we have better teams in the middle than any other conference. Okay, and I know it's a debate because I've said it all along. People hate winners. They will always hate winners. And as long as the SEC kept winning national championships, and I can say that because now I hear people saying, "Oh, Big Ten, they won the national championships. They won that." Okay, so I'm going to say the SEC won national championship. You look back at the last 10 years; it's just proven what it is. I don't think our conference was overrated this year. I think it was a down year for the big dogs. I think there was a lot of parity in there. I think there was a lot of good football games played, but then again, you have those teams that you don't want to play, but you don't know what's going to happen. You don't want to play LSU, Ole Miss. You don't want to play those guys ever because you don't know what you're going to get with them. Kentucky's another one, just there's teams like that. Arkansas, I know they went on a 5 or 6 game losing streak, but they lose every game by less than 7 points. Missouri, luckily Missouri didn't have to play Ole Miss or LSU. I think they'd have lost those games. But look at Missouri; they had a great season. So I think the strength of schedule in the SEC is proven year in and year out. I think it makes them. I do think it makes them one of the best conferences. Are they the most fun to watch? I don't know. That's your preference. But I think the SEC is the best conference in the nation, top to bottom. And I'll say this. So in the 90s, Bobby Bowden was the head coach for Florida State Seminoles. The SEC invited him to join the SEC. Bobby Bowden said this himself. He said, "There's no way we're going to go in the SEC. That is the toughest conference in the nation. They play the best ball in the nation. It's the hardest road to get to the national championship. It's almost impossible. The ACC is where we need to go because there it's easier to get there and we can win more national championships in consecutive seasons if we go that route. It's easier to get there than the SEC." So they turned down the SEC. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but they did. Anyway, I still have a lot of respect for the SEC. And I got respect for the Big Ten and, well, the old Pac-12 this year. But anyway, moving on, talking about the Big Ten, again, Michigan, top dog. Ohio State was the second team in that league, and Penn State was the third or something like that. I just didn't think those guys were that good. And, you can say what you want because people have been hitting me for the last 5 years about, well, the SEC sucks. They're overrated because look at their bowl performance. They only win 3 out of 10 bowls or whatever. Well, not a lot of these kids play in those bowl games, but let's take your word for that. Because of the bowl games, Ohio State and Penn State got their shit kicked in. Those were the number 2 and 3 teams in the nation. Alabama lost in overtime in a playoff to the national champion. Right? Let's see. Let's talk about Georgia. We're talking about the ACC. Let's talk about Georgia. Georgia kept most of their players. The only players that didn't play in that bowl game were hurt. Why? Number 1, because they have pride. Number 2, they had something to prove. They wanted to prove to everybody that they deserved, even though they lost to Alabama, they deserved to be in the national playoffs. They got snubbed. So they had something to prove. So they went out there with their team and did what they were supposed to do. Florida State, instead of crying for a week and wanting to do lawsuits and all that crap, they could have done what Georgia did and said, look, you know what? We're going to prove that we deserve to be there. We're going to go beat the shit out of Georgia. All of our players are going to band together. We're all going to stick together. We're going to go to this bowl game, and we're going to prove to everybody that we deserve to be there. Now, they decided 25 players or whatever decided to hit the bricks. And so they go get beat 63-0. People were, well, Georgia proved nothing there. No, it's more than that. Florida State proved everything there. The committee did get it right. 100% got it right, in my opinion. Anyway, the Big Ten, I do like to watch a couple of games in the Big Ten. Not a big fan, but now that the 4 Pac-12 guys are going in there, I'm excited about that. I'm going to end with this. I think probably in one of the most lackluster college football seasons I've seen ever in my lifetime, and it was kind of, and then you end up with the pillow fight between Michigan and Washington. So it was kind of lackluster, but I think one of the highlights is Neon Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. I said it in one of our previous podcasts. I'm going to say it again. Deion in Colorado, they kind of woke up college football. He changed the way recruiting goes. He changed the way things go. I love that circus that he's created. I love that clown show that's going on in Colorado. I think it's exciting. I think it's fun. I think it's funny. I love his social media. He's so serious about, God, and then he's so serious about the kids, and where's my theme music? And I just find it really, really entertaining. I quit watching the Kardashians to watch that reality show in Colorado. And then he takes play calling away from his OC and gives it to some Grizzly Adams looking dude, and then he screws the pooch and takes it away from him, gives it back to him. They still can't stop anybody on defense. Even with all those NFL players that he hired, still can't stop anybody. But I just think it's great TV. I love it. I love watching him on social media. Everywhere he walks, he's got his children, videoing him every second. He's making shit ton of money. He's making his kids a shit ton of money. I think it's great. I love it. I love everything he's doing. And I'm going to continue watching, especially because it's free TV. That being said, I think he's going to get his own channel here pretty soon, like Texas did when they were in the Big 12 before they destroyed that conference. I think they're going to get their own. I think Deion's going to get his own TV show. Anyway, the deal with Colorado now. Hey, Deion, now you got to prove you can win. You were a winner as a player. My favorite player of all time. One of my favorite players of all time, Deion Sanders. Love him. Love everything about him. Now you got to prove you can win, big dog. I predicted last season. I told my guys on the podcast, 3, maybe 4 wins tops. You hit that. I don't think you win 5 games next year. Time will tell. We'll see. I don't know. I'm in my kitchen right now drinking coffee, just talking about this. You're actually putting the work in. Good luck to you. I hope it happens. I love what you're doing over there. I think it's great television. I think it's great drama. I think it's great comedy. I love watching all the rappers and movie stars and shit on the sideline in your games. It's way better than watching Matthew McConaughey on the Texas side. I'm so tired of that shit. But good luck to you. I don't think you win 5 or more this year, but good luck to you anyway. The low part of college football, obviously, the NIL, the way they're handling money, the way they're paying these kids. Now these kids have their own agents, and the transfer portal. I think it's killing college football. I think it's killing everything about it. From the bottom up. You guys are not only destroying college football, the big time Power 5 conferences, but all the way down to the 1AA schools, the mid majors. You're just killing them because those guys are really the ones that are doing the work now. They're bringing the kids from high school, developing those kids. Once those kids have a good season, then they're going to get paid to go play in the Power 5. So you really hurt them. You're destroying all of college football as a whole. NCAA, you're destroying all as a whole. A couple of things I think need to happen. Number one, the transfer portal. That shouldn't open up until after the national championship. Let these kids play. Let these kids go until after the net. I'll tell you why. Don't open it up till after the national championship. Then only give it 4 weeks. All these kids that want to get out because they're not playing. 132 that happened this year when it opened. 132 Division I football programs. 109 quarterbacks hit the transfer portal the day after it opened. 109 quarterbacks from 132 teams hit the transfer portal. There's a big problem there. Huge problem there. All right. So I don't think the transfer portal should open till after the national championship. Then you give it 3 or 4 weeks. You want to make it the Wild Wild West? Make it the Wild Wild West. I guarantee you out of 109 quarterbacks, there will be probably 40 quarterbacks that are sitting there scratching their ass going, where am I going to play now? All right. That'll make a kid think twice. And then these coaches, instead of growing rogue, you got to know what the hell you're doing, and you only get 3 or 4 weeks to do it. I think that's important. You don't do it till afterwards. And the reason being, if you're going to pay these kids, you're going to pay them like subcontractors. You give them a signing bonus when they sign for you. If I'm going to give you $500,000, I'm going to give you a signing bonus of $100,000 to come with me. You make it halfway through the season, I'll give you the other $100,000. Now you got $200,000. Okay. Now after the season, here's the thing: when the season ends, now you decide, all right, are you going in the transfer portal or not? Are you going in the NFL draft or not? Okay. If you are, then you don't get the remaining money. Okay, because you're going to make that or more anyway in the portal, or you make that much more anyway if you go to the NFL just in a signing bonus. So you get the rest if you play in the bowl game or if you play in the playoff game, all that. Now, obviously, you'll have insurance if you get hurt because the kid can't help that. But I think that should happen. The other thing I think that should happen is your Heisman doesn't get picked until after the national championship. That's what I think. And then I think whoever is on the committee has had to have played the game, worn the helmet, coached the game, worn the headsets, one or the other. I don't need a woman judge that has never stepped foot on the fucking football field to tell me and my buddies that this is the number 3 team in the nation. No. I'm not going to go into your courtroom and tell you what the law is. Don't come into our football on our football field and tell us who the best team is. You don't know shit. So, and I don't mean to sound sexist or racist for that matter. I don't. Sorry for that. I don't mean to sound sexist or racist at all. I really don't. And it goes for men too. I don't, if you've never played or coached or anything, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I mean, I'm an armchair quarterback right now myself. You don't give a shit what I have to say. I'm just giving you my opinions. And I don't want your opinions unless you've been there. So I think those are some important things that need to be done. Will they? Nobody's going to hear me. Nobody cares. That's just my opinion. Anyway, it's been a hell of a 23-24 football season. I want to thank everybody for sticking with us, for being on our show, or listening live, or commenting, whatever. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Coach's Call on tap. We've got more. We got NFL football pick'em. We got basketball, college basketball. NBA basketball, we're going to have baseball. We're going to be around a lot. We're going to have Chalk Talk. If you want to be on, let us know. If you don't like us, let us know. If you love us, let us know. Like, share, subscribe. Trying to grow the community. Let us know if there's something that you want us to talk about. Anyway, I want to thank you for another great season. I'm looking forward to 24-25. I think it's going to be exciting with all the changes coming up. Make sure you go join us on the Discord if you want to go over there and check out what's going on. If not, just subscribe and keep watching us here, man. I appreciate you. I am your coach, Coach Z. Coach's Call on tap. College Football Pick'em Show for 2024. That's a wrap.